University police are investigating what may be the first heroin overdose on campus.
Also see what San Jose State is doing to lower its water usage.
And spring graduation is upon us. See how SJSU students are preparing. Update News starts now.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communications at San Jose State University, your source for what's happening with a fresh perspective on today's issues. You're watching Update News.
Hello and welcome to Update News. I'm Samantha Rodgers.
And I'm John Marinaro. Thanks for joining us.
A San Jose student living in dorms has overdosed on heroin. Police say it's the first known heroin overdose on campus. Update News reporter Abraham Rodriguez is standing by in the newsroom with more. Abraham?
The male student was found unconscious in one of the dorms on campus Thursday night of last week. Police now say they believe he was injecting heroin.
Police were alerted last Thursday when a 19-year-old male was found unconscious in one of the dorms. Housing services representatives thought there had been a suicide attempt, but when police arrived, they learned it had been a heroin overdose. They administered CPR. The student was rushed to a hospital, put in a ventilator, and listed in critical condition, leaving university police officials stunned.
Clearly we're going to conduct a further investigation, try to determine where the heroin came from. Like I said, heroin is new for us, so we want to try to find out what is the scale of the problem.
It's the first heroin overdose in SJSU that police know of.
I've been here for 5 years. During my tenure here, this is the first one that I've heard of. I don't have stats on any previous heroin overdoses.
In talking with other police chiefs across the CSUs, SJSU Police Chief DeSantis learned Sacramento State has had the highest incidences of heroin abuse. Monday, SJSU President Mo Kayomi said the investigation is ongoing. He said the student was recovering but would not comment further.
Well, I think let's see what will come out of the investigation to see whether it was a failure of policy, failure of implementation, or something else.
Still, some dorm residents told us they're not worried.
People in their early 20s are going to be doing drugs, regardless, in college, not in college, and
The school's administration has confirmed the student is in stable condition. He is expected to recover. If you or a friend or a family member are suffering from substance abuse problems, you can call the Santa Clara County Crisis Center. That number is 855-278-4204. Live in the newsroom, Abraham Rodriguez, Update News.
Thanks, Abe. A South Carolina police officer was charged with murder earlier this week. A video surfaced on the internet late Wednesday night of the interaction between the North Charleston police officer and the unarmed victim. Viewer discretion is advised. The video contains graphic content. Here's Quinn Dang with the coverage.
The fatal shooting, Saturday, was caught on a cell phone camera. North Charleston police officer Michael Slager draws his weapon and fires 8 rounds as Walter Scott tries to escape, with his back to the officer. Tuesday, Slager was charged with murder. The incident is one of many that fueled the racially charged distrust between the public and the police, not just in South Carolina, but throughout the country. Executive Director of San Jose's African American Community Service Agency, Milan Valentin, understands that distrust with police officers.
Even though I have a college degree and I'm earning my master's, when I even get stopped by a cop, the first thing is, all right, make sure that I am positioned in a way that he doesn't feel that's quote-unquote threatening.
While African Americans account for less than 3% of the population here in San Jose, Valentin says that the agency receives emails regarding the treatment of minorities in the entire Santa Clara County. The incident in South Carolina marks the first shooting of an unarmed African American man by a police officer this year. And the shooting poses unanswered questions. Post-shooting procedures from the Police Firearms Officers Association dictate that immediate first aid should be provided to the person who has been shot. Instead, Officer Slager looks around, handcuffs the suspect, and turns back to retrieve an object on the ground. He called into dispatch saying Walter Scott took his taser, but according to the video, the taser appears to be on the ground. Whether the object was in fact a taser remains under investigation, and whether Scott did anything to provoke the police shooting will be discussed for days to come. Quinn Dang, Update News.
The local companies that define Silicon Valley have taken a stand against the new Indiana law allowing businesses to discriminate against the gay community. In an opinion piece for the Washington Post, Apple CEO Tim Cook compared the new law to the Jim Crow laws of the 60s. At SJSU, an anti-discriminatory group called Queers Thoughtfully Interrupting Prejudice, or Q-TIP, is speaking out with those against the new law.
It was very mind-numbing just because of all the effects that it does have. Granted that they hide it under the fact that they want to do protection for the businesses and things, but it leaves a lot of people unprotected against any bias.
Apple is joined by companies such as Salesforce, banning any company travel to Indiana while the law stands. They are accompanied by the states of California and New York, which have stopped now essential government travel with the state.
The Career Center is investigating a suspicious job and internship fair that was being promoted on campus. Flyers were posted in the engineering building and the art department with the address of San Jose State, telling students to sign up on the website Eventbrite. The website requires personal information in order to sign up for the event. The Campus Career Center says this poses a potential threat to the students and it could be fraud. The event is hosted by a group called the Idol Academy in conjunction with the Chinese Society Club. The Career Center director contacted the groups and says the event seems sketchy.
The way that they advertise this event in the flyer without any contact information made me suspicious.
The Career Center advises students to go through the proper mediums, such as the center itself, when looking into job fairs to attend.
Get out your wallet, you're going to be paying more to ride BART. BART announced Tuesday that fares will go up. The regular BART fare will increase 3.4% starting next January. It's a normal inflation increase. The BART board voted in 2013 to increase the fare every even-numbered year.
I think if it goes to repairs and security, that's good. Because you always see stuff on the news about like cops and shootings and tasings.
The additional profit from the fare increase will be put towards fixing the decaying tracks, updating the computers and trains, and basic upkeep. BART is currently extending service past Fremont through Milpitas and into San Jose. The extension has been in progress since it began in 2012 and is expected to be nearing completion around 2017. Efforts are underway to get federal funding for public transportation in the Bay Area. A massive rally was held on Thursday in San Francisco. Update News reporter Christina Rotar was there and joins us live. Christina?
Thanks, Sam. About 20 people left from here on campus to join the rally in San Francisco, pushing Congress to pass a long-term funding bill to help us all commute a lot easier in the Bay Area.
National Transportation Infrastructure Day began with students signing a VTA bus to stand up for transportation. The bus offered students, members of the community, and transit officials a free ride to San Francisco for the Day of Advocacy, pushing Congress to pass a long-term transit funding bill.
Message to Congress to fund transportation, and we're educating the public. We're letting the public know that they too have a voice, and really the power is in their hands.
Once in San Francisco, demonstrators ramped up their call for action. The current federal transportation program is nearly exhausted and is expected to expire on May 31st.
Well, it's hugely important. In 6 weeks, the federal transportation bill is going to sunset. What that means is money stops flowing. And what we heard today from transit operators all around the Bay Area is that 65% of the buses will either fall apart or stop.
The Federal Transit Administration funds 80% of bus replacement costs in the Bay Area. Transit officials say future funding is important for the expansion of public transportation across the Bay.
It's a tremendous opportunity for not only VTA to complete our extension of BART service into Santa Clara County, but also to go back to the federal government and ask for support when we extend that service into the heart of downtown San Jose.
BART officials say they need more than the budgeted 775 new rail cars to expand to San Jose.
Transit officials say without federal support, the Bay Area could face more crowded buses, trains, and see more traffic on busy streets. Live on campus, Christina Rotar, Update News.
Thanks, Christina. If it's taking you 5 or 6 years to get through SJSU, you can relate to this next story. An accelerated program to help students get through college faster is on the horizon. Various vocational degrees will be offered on 15 campuses statewide. Cato Guzman reports from Foothill College.
Foothill College in Los Altos Hills will be one of the first community colleges to offer a bachelor's degree, allowing students to finish school faster and join the workforce. The pilot program will offer a bachelor's in dental hygiene.
I feel like the Foothill campus is a lot more quieter and you're able to focus on your classes a lot more.
With tuition rates high, some students search for alternatives to receive their bachelor degrees for less. The program overall is estimated to cost $10,000 as opposed to $26,000 per year at a four-year university.
Yes, I have a lot of debt. Lots and lots of debt. I could buy a car with that debt.
62% of students who transfer from a two-year university to a four-year university actually graduate with a degree. Alan Nobita had to quit school to work full-time jobs in order to afford his rent.
I definitely think an accelerated bachelor's program would have helped me finish college because it was just hard balancing that work-school balance and needing money to survive and pay for class.
At San Jose State, the overall graduation rate is 48%. By having a program at the community college level, there will be fewer expenses and the accelerated program is expected to allow students to graduate faster. On campus, Cato Guzman, Update News.
A festival decked out in blue and gold took over part of the bookstore on campus this week. Spartans are getting ready for the rest of their lives. San Jose State's Spartan Bookstore held its annual Grad Fest Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday this week. Seniors getting their bachelor's or master's degrees came in and picked from any of the 3 graduation packages offered. Students received their honor medallions and chose from various graduation ring styles, tassels, stoles, and diploma frames.
It's just a time where people can come, get everything they need all in these 3 days, and then move on so they can move on to the next chapter in their lives. All that.
Seniors came in with excited looks on their faces as they stood in line and filled out graduation ceremony forms. The opportunity was even given for these students to take professional pictures wearing their gowns and holding their diploma folder. This is a landmark year. A total of 3 million students will have graduated from CSUs by the end of the spring semester.
When we come back, Jennifer Gonzalez will be here to bring you the latest in arts and entertainment, including a new art gallery on campus.
The current drought has many people scrambling for solutions to take the Bay Area out of the water shortage. Santa Clara County Board of Supervisors President Dave Cortese proposed on Monday that the Bay Area consider funding a desalination plant. This has not been the first time a desalination plant has been proposed. Nearly a decade ago, the Water District teamed up with other agencies and concluded the facility was worth looking into. The group even came up with a location in the East Bay city of Pittsburgh. But it can be harmful to the environment.
Concerns about taking the water into the plant and putting the concentrated solids that get filtered out of the water, putting those back out into the ocean. Both of those have to be done very carefully to avoid harming marine life.
Bringing a desalination plant is costly and energy consuming, but the Santa Clara Water District has yet to decide whether or not it's good in a long-term solution for the drought.
The ongoing drought doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. What was supposed to be a Tuesday storm turned into more of a sunshine. Tuesday's weather prediction of a severe thunderstorm turned out to be a bust. Early morning rain simply left puddles of water around campus and hardly contributed to the ongoing drought. A flyer in the hallway advertised Governor Jerry Brown's request for campuses to reduce water usage by 25%. SJSU already uses recycled water in the library bathrooms and campus pools, but much of SJSU is covered in grass and other plants that require sprinklers to turn on multiple times a day.
The most important things is to not water those very water intensive kinds of plants, so things like lawns. So you may have seen around the brown is the new green little signs that people are putting in their lawns.
San Jose State's Facilities Development and Operations Administration Office breaks down their annual water usage on campus this way. 78 million gallons of water are used for academic purposes, 40 million gallons for irrigation, 20 million gallons for the cogeneration steam plant, and 4 million gallons for the library.
It's incredible to me like how much water goes towards not drinking when it's clean, and I'm just really happy that Governor Brown has decided to implement a 25% reduction in water usage on campus.
Instead of sticking to the state-mandated 25% reduction, the campus is aiming at a goal of 45%. To make the cut, the campus is counting on conservation and an increased use of recycled water.
The SJSU Greek houses are enduring a week-long competition to raise awareness for autism. Alpha Xi Delta hosted several different events to challenge Greeks to raise money for the organization Autism Speaks. Glass jars representing each house are available at the AZD table, selling baked goods and informing the campus about autism awareness. Whoever raises the most money gets the most points.
Spreading awareness and just letting people know is really important, and I think we're doing like a really big part of that, and a lot of people have just donated their time because they know how important it is.
Lines of people wrapped around the sidewalk as students waited in line to enjoy tacos, nachos, and quesadillas for $5 per plate at the AZD house. 100% of the proceeds raised throughout the week will go towards the organization Autism Speaks.
The cost of studying abroad has become a barrier between students and their dreams. But one SJSU student is earning his one-way ticket to Paris. Rebecca LaPena is live on campus with more. Rebecca?
Sam, there was no stopping one student determined to study in Paris this summer. Matt Ho put his skills to use and turned them into cash.
We ranked differently on a couple different rankings that they offered. So we ranked 10th on one, and then we ranked second, or we tied for second, so second or third on another.
Studying abroad in Paris is the ultimate dream for SJSU hospitality senior Matt Ho. In order to raise money to study in Paris, Ho sells plates of garlic noodles topped with lemongrass chicken for $6.50 each.
They colonized the Vietnamese people, so I get to see the culture of Vietnamese food and French food, and I kind of get to bring it together. And then doing this kind of gives me a glimpse of wanting to operate my own business one day, from cooking the food to marketing.
Ho prepares and sells all his food in his apartment across the street from SJSU. The hashtag Swami Kitchen was created to alert the public through social media about the hot and ready food. All of his proceeds are put toward his expense to take the SJSU faculty-led program this summer called Paris City Culture, co-led by Health, Science, and Recreation Professor Linda Rainbow Levine.
Some students get scholarships, some students get loans, some people pay in cash, but the most interesting to me are the ones who think of really creative plans to come up with this money.
Ho will continue to sell his meals to encourage students to try food from other cultures until he reaches his goal of $4,700. The hospitality department plans to set up a booth to help sell Matt Ho's food and reach a larger audience. Live on campus, Rebecca LaPena, Update News.
Thanks, Rebecca. Looks delicious. SJSU's Department of Design has been ranked as one of the top 10 schools for design. Their standings come from the career networking website LinkedIn. These ratings compare schools from across the nation based on job opportunities and hires after graduation.
We ranked differently on a couple different rankings that they offered. So we ranked 10th on one, and then we ranked second, or we tied for second, so second or third on another.
These rankings are determined by the number of graduates that enter the workforce. Students in the department say many graduates have lots of job prospects in Silicon Valley because the design industry is very strong here.
Now let's hear about some arts and entertainment that happened this past week.
So, can you tell us about some laughs and other stuff coming from Sunnyvale?
Yeah, definitely. I have great stories for you guys tonight. A comedy club in Sunnyvale is hosting an annual competition for new talent. Anyone who has the courage can sign up. Quinn Dang has the story.
Every year, Rooster T. Feathers hosts a competition for new up-and-coming comedians. The competition consists of 3 nights of preliminaries before moving on to semifinals.
It's always fun to get up on stage.
20 minutes on stage is better than 40 minutes doing anything else. That doesn't work out math-wise, but I'm not a math guy. I'm a comic.
This competition boasted 12 comedians and gave them each 5 minutes to showcase their best material. For aspiring comedian Joey Avery, the key to performing well is all mental.
Because, like, dude, if it was the 70s and you went out and you bought a camera and you mounted that thing on a pole and you're like, yo!
I think what you got to do is just trust in your set, and if you're not having fun, no one's going to be having fun. So at least when you hit the stage, you better be confident or you're kind of done.
Avery went on to place first. He is expected to compete in semifinals after preliminaries end next week. The winner of the competition receives a variety of prizes, including guaranteed stage time here at the club. In Sunnyvale, Quinn Dang, Update News.
Students and faculty at San Jose State joined together to welcome back alumnus Ted Fullwood Tuesday night. They were celebrating the opening of his gallery, Imaginary Confidants.
Hand-built ceramics and sculptures made of pipe cleaners were just some of the pieces found at the Imaginary Confidants exhibition opening Tuesday in the Art Department gallery. Before the big unveiling, the Art Department held a lecture where Ted Fullwood discussed the inspiration for his art.
And coming to San Jose State was rebirth number 2. And then it all just gelled, and I go, okay, this is what the bliss is. It all adds up.
The Natalie and James Thompson Art Gallery is on the first floor of the art building. Director Joe Farb Hernandez is glad to have such a hardworking and inspiring artist be a part of San Jose State.
I just hope they're really inspired by him, by how he has approached how he works, by the scale of his work, by the fact that he works in different kind of media, the fact that he's making forms that are just his own, it's not derivative at all.
The San Jose-based artist and alum showcased his colorful, hand-built ceramics that varied from figurative to abstract pieces. Spectators were mesmerized by his vibrant use in colors and wild imagination portrayed through pipe cleaners.
You never see this kind of stuff out in the world at all. I mean, you see sculptures every once in a while and bronze sculptures, whatever, but pipe cleaners, that's far out, man. That's far out.
Although Ted Fullwood declined to be interviewed, he did explain his inspiration for using pipe cleaners, stating it came after teaching kids art classes. He became hooked on the material.
The public can now view Fullwood's art pieces daily until May 15th. One of the hardest skills to master for an illustrator is capturing the human form when in motion. To help teach those skills, these artists turn to artists of a different kind.
The Wushu Club likes to fight. The problem is, fighting nowadays costs money. To help solve this problem, club members turned to fighting for a crowd. They teamed up with the Shrunken Headman Club, an illustrator collective on campus. Together, they can perfect their fighting and pay for tournaments.
What we're doing is we're doing wushu poses for art students. So in this figure drawing event over here. So we do like all the poses we normally do with wushu or tai chi. And they're gonna draw like the figures of us because they normally don't get people who are in those poses.
This provided the Shrunken Headman Club a better venue to introduce young artists to drawing something more dynamic.
They're usually at night in the building and just with regular models, but today we get to draw really exciting poses and interesting things.
It isn't just performance for the Wushu Club, it's practice.
It helps us see where we're at with our abilities. Because normally we move through movements very quickly, so here we can go through sequences of movements that we normally don't go through quickly. So that, there's like certain poses in between, like the really important ones that you have to get right, and here you got to do it.
For the artists, poses provide more than just shapes to sketch. They are a priceless experience.
I really like the ones with the lions.
Okay.
They have some really good story moments that you can snatch out and capture. So
I'm probably going to be using a lot of these really dynamic poses for other projects or personal work. So it's great.
Thanks to the combined efforts of the Spartan Wushu Club and the Shrunken Headman Club, art is back in martial art. John Marinaro, Update News.
Well, that's all I have for arts and entertainment this week.
Thanks, Jennifer. If you're feeling caged in at your local gym, your workout might not get any better at Communication Hills. The neighborhood is making changes, but not everyone is happy with them. Rebecca LaPena reports.
The grand staircase on South San Jose's Communications Hill was intended for residents to get to and from their homes. But today, surrounded by fencing, the staircase is anything but grand. People from as far away as San Francisco come to run the 18-foot wide stairs and enjoy the view. That's the problem.
I think the fences are here because the homeowners associations is afraid of being sued in case someone, children, dogs, older people walking through here will fall down and hurt themselves. It becomes a liability.
The stairway that used to be filled with fitness gurus now has only limited access, but it's still a strain on residents.
It's super crowded. People working on your driveway, and they don't have the common courtesy. It's someone's house. And how would they feel if somebody comes to your house and work right in front of your driveway?
Residents have to fight for their own parking spot and pick up trash left over in their yards.
This stair brought a lot of people. Some of them ended up to be drug dealers and people who want to use drug and prostitution and all those factors.
The stairs are zoned as public access land. Anyone can use them free of charge. But some residents don't think it's grand that more staircases are in the works.
There's going to be a lot of changes with Communication Hills. Over the next 7 years, KB Homes plans to build 2,200 new houses and 28 new grand staircases just like these. In San Jose, Rebecca LaPena, Update News.
When we come back, we'll have sports.
Can't we?
We've got Heather Miller here with us now to bring you sports.
That's right. We had a pretty exciting week for Spartan athletics, right, Heather?
That's right, guys. Let's get right into it. For the first time ever, there is going to be a full-time female official in the NFL. Sarah Thomas will be hired full-time. She starts in the fall. Female officials are nothing new to college football. Previously, Thomas spent time in high school and the college ranks before making her way to the NFL. While she has officiated preseason game, this will be her first season in the regular season games.
It's great to see NFL opened up the opportunities. There's more candidates, and certainly I'm all for not numbers or quotas or anything like that, but the best officials to be out there.
Coach Carragher says women officials who have worked in college football have proven that they are more than capable to officiate professional sporting events. Sarah Thomas may be the first, but she certainly won't be the last. The San Jose Sharks find themselves in an unfamiliar position, out of the postseason before it even begins. The Sharks were officially eliminated from the playoff contention on Monday night during a 5-1 loss to the Dallas Stars. Here, you can see the crews cleaning up the SAP Center, breaking down the rink for the last time this season. This ends a 10-year playoff streak for the Sharks, who have missed the postseason just once since 2002.
I don't know, surprised, that's not a good word to use. Disappointed is probably the stronger word. We came in, the very first thing I told our guys at training camp is we're here to win. And we did the least amount of that this season.
Obviously, we want to be better. We expect more out of ourselves, and ultimately we play a game because we love it, but we love our fans too, and we love the city, and we want better for them and for us.
The Sharks wrap up their season on Saturday in Los Angeles with a chance to eliminate the rival Kings from their playoff picture. The San Jose State track team has made its way back to campus. A women's track team has formed for the first time in school history. Update News reporter Dustin Dorsey has the story.
History is being made this year at San Jose State. The school was once known as Speed City due to its talented track program. Today, the program is back, this time as a women's team.
So this is actually the first ever women's team. Every time somebody wins, every time somebody runs a new PR, it's like some type of a school record, which is really exciting.
This past fall, the Spartans took to the track to begin their first full year as an indoor and outdoor team. As Coach Kelly said, every time SJSU steps on the track, history is being made. These athletes understand having the team back is important, not only to their school, but to themselves as well.
It was just an honor to be a part of it and just to like be able to say like I was in that and like to have my name in history, no doubt.
This is only the beginning for this young track team. According to the athletes, the best is yet to come.
I just want everyone to know that we're going to do great and we're going to show great expectations for San Jose State and for this team.
These statues here, showing SJSU track Olympians John Carlos and Tommy Smith, remind students of the greatness of the past. The women of the team say they hope to continue in that legacy. On campus, Dustin Dorsey, Update News.
San Jose State took to the pool against crosstown rival Stanford. It was a Mountain Pacific Sports Federation Conference water polo match. The Battle of the Bay Area teams took place on Saturday afternoon at the Avery Aquatic Center. This match was up between two top teams in the country. Stanford ranked 2nd, San Jose State ranked 9th. The Cardinal jumped to an early lead, scoring on their first 4 possessions. The first quarter ended with the Spartans behind 5 goals.
You know, we know if they get up, on us a few goals here and there, it's tough to come back for them. And when we make a mistake, they capitalize on it very easy.
Stanford would continue to capitalize as 5 different players recorded a hat trick. The final score was Stanford 23, San Jose State 6. And that's all the sports I have for you.
Thanks, Heather.
Now let's check in with the Spartan Daily reporter, Rigo Gomez, to get a preview into the upcoming Spartan Daily issues.
Thanks, Samantha. This upcoming week in the Spartan Daily, we'll be publishing a variety of stories. In the news section, check out the latest, the AS Elections Barbecue and the Open Forum for VP of Student Affairs. In AMNE, there will be an article on John Hammett's Fear Festival, the rock band Bad Religion, and coverage on pop singer Ariana Grande's concert at the SAP Center. The opinion section will have death penalty counterpoints and reasons why people try to look their best. Lastly, sports will cover SJSU softball player Jesse Huffstetler and SJSU Athletics Field Day. Also, don't forget to grab a copy of the latest Spartan Daily special issue on identity. From the Mac Lindstrom newsroom, I'm Rigoberto Gomes. Back to the studio.
And that's all we have for this week's edition of Update News.
For all of us here, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.